Happy Tuesday evening to you. Happy Tuesday evening to you. Guess I'm calling these Wiley's Chronicles. Day is, it says Tuesday evening. I'm actually in, we call this room in my parents' house the new room. It was a room growing up. I always wanted this room. They got it built when I was in high school, and I wanted it because it was on the other side of the house. So it was kind of like insulated because there was a door to get in the hallway, and then the room itself had a door, and it was a bigger room, and it had its own exit door that led to the carport, and it had its own bathroom that was right by the bed. And I was like, I want that room, but that's not how it worked out. It took forever for them to build a room, and then even when it was built, my dad, they forever called it the new room. He didn't even like anybody really sleeping in it or really standing in it, because his thing was he didn't feel secure about it until they had finished paying for it. I don't know. It's a nice room. It's got like a Queen Anne bed. It's not made. I'd show it to you, but that's really not the point. It has that big Queen Anne with the posts type on it bed. You gotta hop up in it. And bathroom, and there's a chase and a closet. And this is a room that I sleep in when I come visit. And it's also the room where my parents have had guests or whatever. They stay out here. So it is used. Feels weird. That's the only real way to say what it feels like to be in my parents' childhood home. It'll be 2 months since my dad has passed on July the 20th. And it's just weird. I don't have a real word for it. It feels hollow sometimes. It feels somber being here because, all the cars and stuff are in the yard, but he's gone. Today I helped my mother with errands. She went to the post office, and then we went to Best Buy because she had talked to someone on the phone about getting access to my dad's computer. He had a computer in his office, which also used to be my old bedroom. That's pretty much an office and books and stuff. And he had a computer that we've not been able to get into that particular computer. And so the people at Best Buy were having me run through steps that I'd already tried before, but you have to go through them. And then they said I have to take the computer to Best Buy. It's interesting, for lack of a better word, because my professional day job is to help engineers, scientists, graduate students, research groups, undergraduate students organize, document, and back up their research data so that if someone leaves their research group or stops attending the university, leaves, transfers, whatever the case may be, they'll be able to pick up that research project seamlessly. They'll be able to access all of the information that was being collected and studied, examined, explored for their research project. That is my day job. That's what I do each and every day. I've done that for 10 years, and I've been a librarian, which that's the chief skills, not the only, but that's some of the primary skills that I've learned as a librarian. So I've done that for about 14 years. And there are all kinds of stories I know that are called data horror stories, where people can't access the data. They can't access it and they can't publish the paper, or they end up with terminal degrees. So it's just, I don't have another word for it, to have the experience where you can't access the computer. So it's like it feels like living a data horror story because you can't access that information. And thankfully, we went to Best Buy, and what they were able to do was create another account and copy files over, not the Microsoft ones, because apparently with Microsoft, there isn't a way to access that without the password. They were like, maybe you can call Microsoft, but the IT person was like, he had no expertise to share, to say, hey, I've had someone in this situation before and they were able to access the information. So, I mean, we got some things. I don't know what it is. I haven't looked at it. Maybe, later in the week, or, while I'm here, I'll look at it. But it just was like, I was just thinking about that. Like, wow. Because my dad had a notebook of passwords. And it just, makes you think about, if something happens to you or you're incapacitated, can people access all the things that are important and relate to you and how you handle your business? How, they do that. And will they be able to do that in a way that is streamlined, in a way that presents ease, even though ease feels like the most opposite and incorrect assessment, because you're trying to access things and handle things while you're going through the grief process. And for me, grief has been a mix of experiences and emotions. Like today, I think it was riding with my mom, and she has this thing where she literally might eat two meals a day, or maybe one. Not because there's not food, but because she just has it in her mind that you're not really supposed to eat a lot. And I was just thinking, she's explained it to me so many times growing up, and I was like, well, not growing up. That's how it is now. That's not how it was growing up. They ate 3. But I was just like, that doesn't make any sense to me, because it's like, it literally feels like you're starving yourself or pretending that you're not hungry. But I'm like, maybe she's not hungry, because, this morning I asked her what she wanted for breakfast, and she said she wanted chicken wings and coffee. I said, okay. And then she said that was at about, was that like 9:30, 10 o'clock? And then she was like, she didn't want anything else until dinner at 4 o'clock. And then she said she was going to be done eating at 4 o'clock. I'm like, whatever works for you. That's good for you. It's what I ended up saying, because I'm like, I don't know what that is. But, people have their own thing. So it's just how she wants to do things, and just, go on with it. Because I'm like, it's her house. It's her flow. What it is that she wants done. I just, go with it. But sometimes I'm like, that just doesn't make any sense. But then I was thinking, it really doesn't do any good to argue with somebody about when they want to eat. What are we really arguing about? It's her choice. So, whatever. It doesn't mean that if I want more than one meal, I can't fix something for myself, realistically. Just interesting conversations that you end in. And I don't really think it had anything to do with eating. We were just at the Best Buy, and she was sitting in the car waiting on me to get the computer resolved and tell her what they said. Was it helpful? Yes. But at the core, I'd rather have my dad here. But that's just not possible. That's just not the way life is. So you're moving forward, and you're sitting in the house, because we got back home, and you're sitting in the house and you're talking. And this visit, it seems like I'm more company for her, because my brother has caregivers that help him in the morning as he goes to his school. And then I picked him up this afternoon, and then the caregiver comes back in the evening. So he has his own system and flow. And I think she's been using one person to come in the evening time, I think on the weekends. But for the most part, it's just trying to figure out what moving forward means, what moving forward looks like. I joined this grief support group. They meet this week. We met earlier, like the 5th. So it seems like you meet twice a month. And they were talking today about all the range of emotions that people can go through when you experience grief, and how it comes in waves. Sometimes I find myself getting annoyed. I don't even really know what I'm annoyed about, because, or maybe it's not that I don't know. It's that I find that my patience level or temper is shorter than it used to be. Like standing in line at the Best Buy today when you have an appointment and you gotta wait it out. That was annoying. And as I was sitting there thinking, I'm like, complaining really won't change the fact that I'm really not mad about waiting per se. I'm mad about the fact that I can't get in this computer. Or I'm mad about the fact that my dad is gone. That's really what I'm mad at. That's what it is. And while that might be okay, or that might be a part of the process, there's a fly, great, whoopty. While that might be a part of the process, sometimes it's just annoying, and you're just moving forward as best as you can. So today was still a decent day. That's all I got. Thanks for taking time to listening to me. I hope that wherever you are, you're having a great and wonderful day, and that you're moving through life in whatever ways that you can, as best as you can. Because I think overall people grieve all the time. It might not be a loved one. It might be different things. Or maybe they're not experiencing grief. They're experiencing something else. I hold space for all of it. Thanks for taking time to listen to me chat. I hope you have a great rest of your evening. Peace.